Hi, fellow leaders, and welcome back to It's a Time to Lead. Within this week, we are focusing on how to create an effective thinking environment based on the book of Nancy Klein. Have you ever felt that you didn't have the opportunity to really honestly share your innovative ideas or even creativeness because you might have been rudely interrupted, or you didn't feel that it was a safe space to become vulnerable? Or even worse of all, there were certain biases towards you that people weren't open to your diverse views. Now, that's exactly where we're going to focus on by focusing on the last of the 10 components prescribed by Nancy Klein to have an effective thinking environment. Now, in today's series, I'll take you through when, how, and what information to give. How can you create a psychological safe space? And how can you spark creative collaboration? Now, within the information space, Klein says the thinker needs information, but at the right moment. The place setting is just as important because the thinking environment needs to say back to you that you matter. And then, of course, diverse views. Diverse collaboration recognizes the values of diverse perspectives and the importance of including members of all levels of diversity, which can include diversity in the sense of race, culture, as well as even gender and age. But more importantly, it is also inclusion of diverse perspectives, of the different thinking environment, psychological backgrounds, personalities, and even experiences or educational environments. Now, when we look into information, we know that full and accurate information results in intellectual integrity. You need to know when and how to provide the information or even ask those clarifying questions. The best advice I can give you on this is rather let a thinker complete their full sentences within the 3 minutes that you are providing them to think than interrupting them at any moment. Sometimes you're already making pre-assumptions or even thinking that you know where the thinker is going, but at the end you might be wrong. Quality information helps to break down wrong assumptions and perceptions. It also helps the thinker to face what they might have denied in the past. When they do ask for help, watch out to immediately give advice. Rather ask powerful questions or even state accurate facts by stating, in my experience, or I've heard or read that, instead of, you should, the best way is. So try not to be directive in your approach when you provide information. Then, of course, the importance of psychological safety. Especially in the time of the uncertainty that we're in now with COVID-19, I cannot state this even more importantly than please be aware of the tone of your voice. Be aware of where you're having these meetings. If you're still part of the essential group, really make sure that the environment is still inclusive of all and that it makes the perception that the person that gives the information really matters to you. If you're doing it on a virtual platform such as having webinars or even having the space to share information as I'm sharing now, make sure also that you're still allowing a space for a person to feel that they have a sense of belonging, that they matter, and that it's okay for them to admit mistakes. If we look into psychological safety, it's a space to confront and admit mistakes, learn from failure, that everyone can openly share their ideas, or that even better information leads to better decision making. But if you find yourself in a psychological danger space, you would find people wouldn't necessarily be sharing their vulnerability. They will fear admitting mistakes. They will blame others for their mistakes and not even take accountability. They're less likely to share different views. And it does go into the common knowledge effect, where everyone just goes with the same tendency rather than questioning the status quo. Be very much aware of the psychological safe space that you need to create. And then last but not least, creative, diverse collaboration. You need to be aware of your own biases, your own prejudice, as well as stereotypes and assumptions. Remember that rule that we said as part of the components, that everyone is of equal value and has potential to contribute. Engage the right people at the right times at the right degree. One person that I really look up to as a mentor is Prof. Tina Kotze. And within one of her speeches that she delivered, she really made a standpoint that it's very much important to create this thinking environment by including a diverse representation of age, race, gender, rank, experiences, personality, customers, and stakeholders. The most important rule of engagement that you can have within this thinking environment to make sure you're inclusive of all diverse rules is that everyone needs to take off their lenses of perspective, of perception, as well as assumptions, and really be open to get into the space of creative collaboration by accepting diverse views. So create a safe space for creative collaboration and innovation today by really focusing on when and how to give information. Have that psychological safety as number one rule to have a sense of belonging, and then, of course, be open to diverse perspectives. Enjoy your thinking environment.